Namaste Galactic family. Welcome back to the channel Indigo Angel. Come on into this dimension and come on into this energy update this morning. It is April 1st, 2025, and it's April Fool's Day. I'm kind of excited to be going live on April Fool's Day, but at the same time, I'm like, this is an interesting day, right? Um, I was kind of looking up the spiritual meaning of this day, and it says that it's really truly about rebirth. It's really truly about reclaiming the new and new beginnings and, the beginning of spring and all these things. So I don't know about you if you're being silly today and doing some tricks and some causing some ruckus and some shenanigans, but they say if you are going to do it for April 1st, you got to get it all out of the way by 12 o'clock. You can't do it past noon. You're only allowed to do it in the morning. This is what they say, so, I'm just going with what they say, but um I think that it's a fun day, right? It's a day that can bring in a lot of laughs and kind of remind you not to take things so seriously. Remind you to stop and smell the roses and be silly as much as possible. I think that's really I don't think there's much more sustenance rooted in it, other than that, other than to just lighten the load and kind of be a little bit more carefree. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this energy update. We're gonna get into some things I've been guided to share. I'm still wallowing over everything that's going on in the United Kingdom. So I have some pretty intense messages for the UK Starseeds just to keep everybody up on what's happening over there in terms of those grids. There's also a lot of Stargate movement at this time. Right now, there's a lot of shifts in terms of the gate system. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then we're also going to talk about health because health has been coming up. I've been really getting a lot of messages from a lot of people, friends, clients, friends of friends, just people I know through the higher consciousness community. And a lot of people are really struggling right now with their health. I mean, it's like really amped up. It's really gone to the next level of people just unraveling and spiraling and having a lot of new symptoms of things that they just can't seem to really get under control. And the consistency of that as well has amped up the severity of it, the intensity of it. So I think it's a good time to talk about health and talk about, all the things we can essentially do to help support each other and also improve that. I noticed that there is a lot of resistance with some people that I don't know if I want to say resistance. It's more or less that people don't always like to talk about that. I notice it a lot of times in my session work. I'll ask little things just about physical health overall. And I think people are quick to kind of like overlook or bypass uh, that part of their life. And so I want to dive in. I want to dive into it today a little bit and kind of talk about things like diet, um, supplements, how to focus and where to focus if you feel like your health is essentially on the decline, because I have so much love and I have so much concern and I have so much care and I have so much compassion for everyone I know that's really struggling right now, including myself at certain times. So, yeah, there's a lot. But I want to get into all of this today with you guys. So make sure you check on into the chat. Let me know that you guys are here. Say hello and join the conversation today with me. Um, you do have to be subscribed to the channel for at least 60 seconds to get into the chat. I know it is early. It is morning time, but uh, this is your call to wake up and come and join community, come and join the conversation, and put a big like on this video and drop it down in the comments and let me know that you are here. I see that Dan is here this morning. So, hey, Dan, thanks for checking on in. It looks like Jim is here. Yeah, nice to see you guys. Come on in and check on in. We're going to start talking about the United Kingdom, I think, first, because this has really been on my mind. It's been on my heart. As you guys know, I have been relentless when it comes to talking about the United Kingdom. I have been an advocate, a voice for the draconian invasion in which is occurring there right now. Not just the UK, but it's really happening all over Europe from Ireland. Scotland, I think, is doing a little bit better, but Ireland, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, um, Cyprus is actually struggling right now. That came in earlier today. Um, Germany, yeah, I mean, all these countries really, I mean, they've really lost the monopoly on violence, I think. And so there is. I think what's happening over there is extremely and extraordinarily critical. And I have to say, my heart has just been aching, um, tuning into the energy, looking at it on a level of the grid, looking at it on a level of the galactic wars, the holy wars, looking at it on a level of the 3D human dimensions and things like this. And what I see is that there's a lot of darkness that's coming to light. There's a lot of revolution that's going to be happening and occurring, I think, really over the span of the next 10 years. I think we're going to be seeing in a continuing acceleration and a continuing increase in the revolts, essentially, in the times of change, because the national grid over there is essentially suffering. There's a lot of inversion that is running through the templating. They are running the inverted universal tree of life. There are black hole systems and wormhole systems that are ripping open. And basically, the United Kingdom is under an invasion. It's not just human, it's also cosmic, and it's surely led by the Draconian Sumerian Orion Empire. Essentially, they conquered Europe's government. I mean, that's basically, what's happened. There's a fractured two-tiered government that's polarized by Stargate 10 forces, and it has been systematically consuming the nation. And so what I've been getting in my visions is that Stargate 10 has essentially relocated to London. That's what I'm seeing, is that there's some sort of parallel imprinting in the Stargate 10. There's some sort of movement of Stargates. I think we've already seen this start to occur down in Stargate 2 in Sarasota, Florida. When we began to see that Stargate shift and move, we know that that gate moved from Sarasota over to Mar-a-Lago, even though it's within the same, span of land. It's within the same distance essentially, but it's still in Florida. But we know that there's been movement there. I mean, there has been classified CIA files that have confirmed that the Ark of the Covenant has been found. Okay, those have been published. We are going to get into talking about all of these things on my upcoming roundtable lives that we're doing tomorrow night. So you definitely want to check in and join me April 2nd at 7 p.m. CST. Such a reminder. For that live, we're going to be doing a roundtable with all of my powerful divine sisters. We're going to dive into the findings of the Ark of the Covenant, the CIA documents and the files that have been disclosed and have been found, and all of the remote viewers. It's really, truly the CIA's using remote viewers to bring this information forward. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into what's being uncovered underneath the coffer pyramid and all of the spiral coils that have been found under there that have been powering the Orion quarantine on the planet. So we're gonna really deep dive that wormhole. But there's been Stargate movement, and I think we see this with certain people that have been making a lot of big moves. I think people in powerful positions have been making big moves in terms of location, in terms of reorienting themselves in the grids. And I think this accompanies the movement of the Stargates. And so, yeah, in a lot of my visions, I've been seeing that Stargate 10, the Iran, Iraq, Babylonian, Sumerian, Uruk, um, Abadan Stargate is relocated to London, essentially. So it's being weaponized right now. That Stargate system's being weaponized. Um, yeah, and if you don't take care of a black hole, trust me, that black hole can open up another black hole. Let's just put it this way. Black holes can open up other black holes. And this kind of parallels the health that we need to talk about, right? Like if you don't take care of your health, guess what? Another level of detriment can open up because they're all systems. Black hole systems connect into systems, functioning systems, planetary systems, geological systems. So if your systems, if one's, it's like a car, right? If you're not taking care of your car, you're not getting the oil changes, you're not, changing the filter, you're not listening to that squeaky sound or that funny sound that's coming up from underneath the engine, and you just let that go. Well, guess what? Another funny sound opens up, a couple of months later. So it's the same thing with black hole systems. And really, that's what's happening when we're talking about the inverted grid or the Metatronic grid or the fallen grid or the draconian grid or the Atlantean pylon implant network systems, or countries that are subjugated to it, essentially the United Kingdom, which, oh my gosh. I mean, I've been opened up to what those Michael and Mary turnstiles are doing, having done Canada Gridwork. So now I'm seeing that there is an entire Michael and Mary turnstile, draconian alien technology that is enforcing brutalitarian mind control, predator-prey dynamics, sexual misery programs, forced breeding programs, wartime rape uh, battery, essentially activating black sun wheels and Holocaust ethnic symbolism, black sun wheel ethnic symbolism, multiple locations of these that are running through checkerboard grids that are piercing through specifically the Commonwealth countries. Okay, the Commonwealth countries. They are kind of like the scapegoat right now. They are kind of like the target for the draconian lineages and invasions. And I'm just checking the chat really quick. I haven't looked over here for a second. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, tuning on in with you guys. I get on my roll there for a minute and I'm like, what's going on? Maria, I've been detoxing and helping my lymphatic system with massage. I'm a yoga teacher and have been taking people through a lovely facial lymphatic drainage massage that they can do themselves. I am all about that, and I definitely agree with that. Yes. Um, when I get into my health segment here, I'm going to talk about some of the things we can do to actually help and assist the body. But yeah, I completely agree. You got to do something with the body, right? I mean, the body is so important. The body is the temple. The body, like, if you're a spiritual being that's neglecting your physical body due to trying to um I want to say preserve and survive, right? Because a lot of us, I think, resort to focusing on our emotional state, our mental state, more so in our spiritual state. We kind of focus on preserving that aspect of the energy, and it's a coping mechanism, it's a survival mechanism. But a lot of us forget about the physical health. We can forget about it, or we take it for granted, and we don't realize that we have so much exercising of the body that can assist everything within us according to that. So yeah, I highly recommend stretching, yoga, massage, what she's offering here, lymphatic system. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Um, Movement. Your body does need to move a little bit every day. It really does, especially as you get older. That becomes super significant. When you start approaching the perimenopausal years, menopausal years, um, 30s, 40s, 50s, like you definitely don't want to stop forms of movement. You want to keep moving. JT says hello from Michigan. Hey, JT. Dan is here. Internet cut him off. Okay. Um, She's in a ta sitting in a taxi after the train has been stopped, sending my love. Oh, girl, be careful. What city are you in? Are you in New York or something? You know, those subways in New York, they're not looking too good, I have to tell you. We deserve better. Let's just put it this way. Fix the subways in the United States, especially in New York. That is just ridiculous. There's so much danger in those subways. People are just getting. Did you guys see the lady who got lit on fire? There was a lady who got she was somebody lit her on fire. Her whole body, a homeless lady on the subway, lit her on fire. Just was insane. So yeah, you got to be careful down in those areas. Um, okay, we got UK in the house. Somerset, UK. Let's go, Maria. Dan is from Leeds. Okay. Where did you get the design for your map on your recent posts? It's connected to me personally. Oh, which post are you talking about? I have a lot of posts that I've put out. Is it on Facebook or something? Yeah, just remind me. Okay, Cliff's High latest podcast. It's all about the different type of chemtrail juice and wavy cloud cover. They are now using next generation warfare and 5 HE towers. Yes, okay, yeah. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. There's especially down here by Stargate SS2. The 5 8G towers you're talking about, they're basically microwave radiating us every single night for about 15 hours straight during sleep hours. It's absolutely diabolical. And I'm telling you, you guys, I mean, that's happening from Mississippi through the Florida Panhandle all the way over to the East Coast. And essentially, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, you can't really sleep through the night. You have restless syndrome going on all over the body. You are you're tired. You wake up tired because you're not sleeping well. You're waking up multiple times a night. It's just insane. I've literally been thinking about getting the grounding sheets. I think I need to get the grounding sheets and maybe even a radiation protective blanket. I mean, what else are you gonna do? I mean, I specifically I own a house, you know, down here in this area. So to see that that's happening every single night, to watch those radioactive Dopplers, I mean, that's pretty discouraging. So, I mean, all these things are impacting our health right now. And again, yeah, we need to talk about health. So we got to do everything we can right now to protect ourselves from the chemicals, the poison. They're amping up the poison. I mean, this is basically what's happening. The poison is getting amped up to next levels. It's out of control. I mean, it's just we're literally frogs in a pot. I mean, it's next level poison. That's all I have to say is we're being poisoned. We are literally being poisoned. I don't even know how to It's not funny at all. It's definitely not funny, but we definitely need to recognize and, you know, do what we can to protect ourselves. That's for sure. Oh, Northern Lights says I'm giving up on my health. I'm 62 and have arthritis. I feel my body's been attacked since young. I can't fathom because I always was medium active hiking. Oh my gosh, don't give up. Don't give up on it. Okay, we're gonna talk about it today. We really are. Um, it feels like sometimes I'm telling you, where we're getting to these like points, we're getting to these like precipices where it feels like we're just falling off the edge and it's just like, no, we're not coming back. And then for some reason, you know, we come back. We bounce back because, you know, there is a divine plan, there is a purpose for your life. There is a um there's a drive, there's something there. There's unfinished business. You matter here on this earth. There's something that you have to do. There's something you have to accomplish and it's always so much more heart-based than I think we realize. I think it's really connected to our universal tree of life. It's really connected to our family and our friends and who we affect in our inner circle, in our community, our sphere. You know, all of that is connected to our physical health. and it's just a matter of finding the right things because there's so much herbal medicine on this planet. There's so much uh, comforting and nourishing things that you can tap into energetically, frequency, health-wise to help you, to sustain you. So it's just a matter of tuning in for guidance because your guidance will come to you about what your body is requesting. And I know that our bodies change as we age, and I can't speak from a 62-year-old perspective, but I do know that there are supplements, there are herbs, there are therapies, there are things that can bring great comfort and great assistance. And you might just be in a time that you need to rest and relax, right? You might just be in a time that you need to rejuvenate. You need to just receive, right? Receive things right now. So don't give up. That's all I have to say. Don't ever give up. Be exist grow says we don't consent. No, we don't consent to this poison. Absolutely not. I mean, we're fighting back. There's so many people right now that are doing things to fight back. Let's just put it this way. There's people out there on the ground that are going after these chemtrailers. There's people that are fighting I'm telling you, America is awake. As much as we think everybody's sleeping, like people are awake. So we got to trust because the co the collective is waking up. The United Kingdom is waking up. America's waking up. People are not as dumb and as docile as we think they are. People are willing to ground themselves in patriotism for their country, for right and wrong. I think what's happening is the shift and the change is happening around perspective over the oppressed, um, the oppressors and the oppressed. It's like the sympathizers, like when you talk about the terrorist sympathizers, people who are like fighting for this and stuff and are in a deep level of confusion and things like this, but they have like a oppressive mindset. We're shifting from the oppressive and the oppressor into the like just what's right and wrong. Like what's right and what's wrong, what's morally correct and what's immoral. And so it's taking like even though empathy is a beautiful quality and we absolutely need empathy to expand in terms of higher consciousness, it's taking the negative, the inverted empathy kind of out of the equation and kind of getting us back into the alignment of what is, more essentially aligned, right? Out of the woke mindset more so. But that's kind of, how I see it anyways, is like the mindsets are shifting into restabilizing, rebuilding, regrowing, relaying foundations, grounding, and all of these things. So, but yeah, getting back into my, I could get lost in these comments all day because I love connecting with you guys, honestly. I really do. I love connecting. Yeah, but speaking about the United Kingdom, okay, so I was seeing the relocation of the Iran-Iraq Stargate 10 getting relocated to London. It's weaponizing itself through the Michael and Mary turnstiles. So those are running, and we just did a Canadian clearing. We did a whole Canadian gridwork mission. Now that's really running through Canada right now. It's running through obviously the United Kingdom and then Australia as well. And then all of the other, because there's like 16 Commonwealth countries. All of this is, there's like black sun wheel spike matrices that are running through the checkerboard grid systems in the Commonwealth countries. And I really feel like what's happening is there's actually a harvest that's occurring. There's a harvest because they are drawing that energy back to the Kaaba. They're drawing that energy back to the Red Sea. And this is where the Dracos are harvesting on the planet. Everything along the African um, ridge, the separation of the tectonic plates, the African the separation of the tectonic plates, basically what's happening there. Okay, so it goes back to that on a grid level, but the Red Sea, they've always been harvesting there. That's always been an Anunnaki Stargate port. That's always been where the capital of the Saturnian black cube Saturn moon matrix, the mischief of the Saturn black cube is occurring. The technology on the planet is occurring. So everything that you see going around the Kaaba, that black cube, I mean, people need to literally start taking things literally for what they see. You see a black cube, well, hello, that's a black cube. It's like quit second guessing. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of like going back to common sense in a lot of ways. Like have some common sense in what you see. Like um the distrust in what people see, the illusions, the veils, it's very deceptive. Saturn is very deceptive. Saturn is very elusive. Saturn is the god of deception and mischief. So, I mean, and there's multiple gods that are running on in and through this. And these gods are vengeful. These gods are they are deceitful. They are jealous. They are wrathful. They are rapist. They are entitled. Okay, they are the gods that exist in with the draconian overlords and legions and systems and genetics and hybridization traumas and programs and forced breeder programs that exist on this planet. And what they're essentially doing is, or what I've seen, is that they're trying to rip open the unholy trinity portals, that they're trying to activate these systems. They started, we know that that's opened up at the Vatican, first of all. The Vatican, first and foremost, is a satanic inverted 5D portal, which means if you have a scale in front of you, a mathematical scale going from 0 to 5D, okay, we're going from 0 to negative 5D. That's basically what's running. There is a negative 5D portal. And it's opened up all of the Luciferian portals up underneath there. They opened up those gate systems. I mean, they carry the head of Medusa, in which is a demonic feminine form. I'll just put it this way: she is a demonic feminine form. Some some divine feminines may disagree with me on that, and that's okay. Actually, I don't know if they would or wouldn't, but honestly, I'm just gonna throw it out there because what I have seen is that it's a demonic form. It's clawed at me. It's not at me. It's shown me multiple times. And what I've seen is that she's fighting for some form of, I guess, acknowledgement, but also annihilation of the masculine. She wants to annihilate the masculine. She wants to consume the masculine. She wants to eat the masculine. She wants to stone the masculine. She wants to deliver all forms of wrath unto the masculine unrelentingly and let him suffer all consequences. And it's not rooted in compassion. I get that she's been through hell. She essentially lives in hell. She lives in purgatory, and her purgatory handlers are the gatekeepers, are the Black Pope. And it's not fair. And there's unbinding, there's spells, there's hexes, there's curses, there's all these things. But that's what's drawing her energy down into that well. It's a consuming force that's connected to Vatica, the dragon, the inverted dragon demon that they've essentially overturned as well. The Vatican has overturned this. There's a lot of black magic that's happening there. It's a super satanic site, and they're trying to continue to keep those satanic matrices, overlord systems, governments, political systems, social systems in power. And this is how they're doing it, is by flooding open the draconian gates, opening immigration. It's coming through immigration. It's coming through um, feeding the United Kingdom starseeds, all the Anglo-Saxon brotherhoods to that demonic force, essentially. And it's really happening. I mean, this is actually happening. We are watching it. We are witnessing it. And if anyone says otherwise, like, I don't know, maybe you're living in Lulu land. You're not tapped into what's happening in the real world. You're taken over by what's happening on TikTok. You're taken over by what's happening on Instagram. Maybe you have like all kinds of foo-foo fairy stuff going on your feed that keep you in an elevated state that's outside of what's actually happening in the grids, what's happening in the world, where the world war stuff is playing out, where those timelines are occurring. And I'm not saying it's not a bad thing if you want to tap out and you need to do your own thing and you can't, handle what's actually occurring. But I mean, I've talked about this being a form of also spiritually bypassing. If you are an intelligent human being with an IQ of, let's say, 85 to 120, period, you should be invested in what's happening in the world because you know that these grids and everything that's connected from the deep politics, the deep satanic realms, all the way up to the ascended realms, to the spiritual realms, it's all connected. There is no separation. All systems feed off of the next systems. And we have a duty, we have a justice moral obligation to essentially invest our energy into giving a shit about what's happening in other places. And I just, that's kind of my MO. That's kind of been my whole thing is that we have to care and we have to share what's going on. We have to share this knowledge. And Keir Starmer right now, okay, Britain, it's totally a statistical nightmare. You may have seen this post that I put out on Facebook, but essentially the numbers are actually horrifying what's going on over there right now. Some guy actually broke it down the other day. He said there was 4,208 knife crimes per month. This is reptilian forces stabbing United Kingdom starseeds. Okay, when I'm talking about this spiritual bypassing, can't turn your back on humanity. We can't turn our back on starseeds. Okay? Like if starseeds are getting basically violently and physically assaulted, are we going, no, we're gonna try to do our best to warn people, share information, help people, and try to like change things, try to change it from the root, from the foundation. 4,208 knife crimes per month, reptilian forces stabbing United Kingdom starseeds, 150 knife crimes per day. That's what it breaks down to. That's one in every 10 minutes. Okay, I don't even know if those violent statistics are even comparable to what's going on in New York City. I know that these statistics are not even comparable to what's going down currently where I'm located in Pensacola or any surrounding major cities, but this is very concerning. This is not good. And a lot of the young kids there in the UK, I mean, they're just getting jumped, they're getting gang stalked, they're getting gang beaten, they're getting stabbed. I mean, these reptilians have machetes. They're literally walking around with machetes all over the place. They're walking around with um, weapons. I mean, this is normal. I don't know. I don't know about all of y'all, but this is normal. This is what's going on over there. Hey guys, come on in, check on in. Yeah, Jennifer just joined my I do have memberships. I forgot to mention that. Um Yeah, oh, yeah, you're welcome, Jennifer, for saying we do need to give a shit. 100%. We need to give a shit. Yes, put a like on the video if you give a shit today. Um, so yeah, it's so important. We don't turn our back. A lot of people I'm a social media warrior. Anytime that I see anybody out there that is not giving a shit, I make sure to let them know that they need to give a shit. Let's just put it this way. I will I will make a statement. I will say something. Like it's fine, do your thing, do your foo-foo thing, but just know at the end of the day, like while you're out there just eating coconuts and I don't know, doing whatever, that humanity's out here dying and a lot of them are your brothers and sisters right now if your planet is under a galactic invasion, if your country is under a galactic invasion, I don't think I could so easily just, tune out of that and not care. We're all in it together. And the more that I realize that our collective is awakening, our collective is sovereign, our collective is smart. You know what I mean? I think we've done a disservice by discrediting our people. We've done a disservice by, getting angry at everyone. At the end of the day, everyone has a heart. At the end of the day, everyone has, you know, a level of consciousness. It might not be fully awakened and ascended to the degree that we want, but at the end of the day, people do have a moral guideline. They do have mostly a moral backbone. And most people are mostly good. They want good. Yeah, we should take a stand in the face of evil, 100%. Those knife crimes, one in every 10 minutes. Can you believe that? One in every 10 minutes in the United Kingdom, somebody's getting stabbed. And the victims are 98% are Anglo-Saxon Brotherhood, are United Kingdom Starseeds, are UK Starseeds. Like this is just it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I can't even tell you guys. Like it's just I'm to know this is happening, it's really devastating. I'm just praying so much. And the atrocities continue to go. Um Toddlers. I mean, there are multiple stories. If you look at the victims, like there's victim lists, okay? You could go look this up. Victim lists. Toddlers are getting murdered in daycares, stabbings. Daughters are getting drugged and gang raped by 30 to 50 men. And then their fathers go to try to protect them, and then they're getting jailed and, you know, basically put under draconian measures due to Keir Starmer, due to uh what's Mahmood? Her name is Mahmood. Shabana Mahmood. Remember this name, Shabana Mahmood. She is the Justice Secretary, a hybrid Draco. Okay? Look her up. Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood, hybrid Draco. Uh she's inverted the justice system there. That's basically what's happening. So any father who goes and tries to do something about these rapist, okay? They put them in jail, and then the victim is getting handed back to the draconian handler. They're actually getting given back to the perpetrator. So it's really a dicey situation. And, it's out of control. They're building housing solely for these reptilians. All of the churches, and this is why I did the show with Gene Decode the other day, we're talking about, is Christianity falling? Is Christianity struggling right now? Is it collapsing? I don't think this is, we have to talk about this. I mean, yeah, we consider ourselves to be spiritual beings that are God sovereign and free, but I mean, like when you see your Christians out there struggling in the streets and, they're getting their churches shut down, Easter's getting shut down, they're getting disrespected in their churches. Draconian reptilians are going into their churches and are showing self-flagellation rituals at their churches. They are dominating their churches. They are buying their churches. $117 million is getting given to buy out all the churches and turn them into basically reptilian bases, underground tunnel systems. They're going to turn all of those churches into draconian hives, draconian locations, draconian underground bases, draconian tunnels. That's what's happening. They're they got a grip on it. And not only that, the people are getting taxed. They're getting taxed to allow that to happen. And on top of that, they're getting taxed, okay, not only to allow that to happen, but also to make sure that it's mandatory that they continue to pay those taxes just so that they are allowed to exist. You guys may have heard about this. It's called a jizya. It's called a jizya tax. And the jizya tax means that you're paying to the reptilian overlord system just to be allowed to have a right to exist, but you're treated like a second class citizen, basically. And they're doing that through the overturning of the churches. So, I mean, this is Keir Starmer's British world, and what I've seen when it comes to him is he's got radio devices. Okay, he's got Draco implants on his head. He has got tracker devices. I mean, multiple. He's all strung up. And between him and this Shabana Mahmood, you may have heard about this. They've just recently increased, okay, they increased the sentences for defiance specifically just for Anglo-Saxon people. Okay, if you're an Anglo-Saxon, if you're a white person, a white British, if you're a male, if you're a Christian in the United Kingdom right now, basically, if you commit a crime compared to anybody else that's in the country, you are going to be having harsher consequences than somebody else who isn't. Okay, so it's now I do think that they did something yesterday. There's someone who I guess put some stuff in to basically sue the United Kingdom government. They sued that whole like they put in like a thing to basically oppose it. So I don't know if that's going to go through, but it did actually go through for some time, like a day or two. So we have to follow up with that and figure out the actual, whole deal. But it's just kind of like when you look at their responses to it, when you look at Keir Starmer's response to it, and you look at this Mahmood responses to it, they're just like, oh, well, we'll do something if, efforts are needed. We'll do something if it's needed. It's like, what do you mean if it's needed? What do you mean if it's needed? Like you are basically two-tiering your government, basically um uh what's inequality. It's inequality. It's persecution of a specific heritage, the native heritage of the land. You're persecuting intentionally, and you're sitting there and going, "We'll do something about it if needed." Like, are you absolutely insane? We are watching an entire nation get gaslighted and entirely get gaslighted to keep the Anglo-Saxon Brotherhood inferior. They are setting all these things up intentionally so that every single efforts that these people make to try to rise up against the reptilian draconian takeover, that it's gonna get stunted and stalled, and it's gonna collapse. It's absolutely it's just diabolical. I mean, there's no words for it other than it makes me sick. And basically it's hopefully that they do something about this and do something about it quickly. And what I see is how they're able to do this is they've put some sort of cap on the Anglo-Saxons' DNA. So if we talk about all of the needlecraft technology, we talk about, the pushing of that, there was a narrative behind all of that. There was specific directives and specific conclusions and some specific secularism that occurred in which targeting of specific bloodlines and lineages to dismantle specific strands in their DNA, going after their reproduction. So they went after the reproduction, the 11th strand, in the Anglo-Saxon Brotherhood to inferiorize, to dismantle the DNA and scramble the DNA and dismantle and slough out their seat of power. That's basically, and rape the power out of the genetics. Okay, so they can't rise, so that way the growth is stunting. And that's, yeah, even as I say that, I can really feel my own chakras like having to clear the energy because it's intense. Like it's going right to the sacral chakra. Okay, Anna says, let's raise Christ consciousness then. Unite. Yeah, that's well, okay. I'm gonna say I would say right now it's not about uniting Christed consciousness. It's about activating it. It's about helping people to remember who they are, where they came from, remember their value, remember their morals, remember what they stand on, remember that they have a backbone, remember that the values of Christ support that, right? And that they're strong. Like this is what has to happen. All of the sleepy hollows, all of the people that have went dormant in their DNA, they got to wake up, right? Because there's multiple pockets of sleeper cells, and Christic consciousness can dissolve all turmoil. It can dissolve all pain. It can dissolve all suffering. It can dissolve the wicked and the evil and extract and remove and banish and, you know, get that out of the way. But it has to be like a fire. It has to be like a flame. It has to be like a candle that in which is ignited, in which people can carry the torch, in which people can feel the call. It has to be like a drumming to their heart, like a beat, right? Where people are like, I'm being called to do and act and rise in my spirit. Like it has to come from the depth. And so I would say it's really about activation right now. It's about activation of the Arthur King lines. It's about activation of their heritage right now. Yes, 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 yes. And another issue that's come to my attention, so some of you may have caught recently, I think 2 months ago, JD Vance actually put a message out. He said that the UK could become the first Islamic nuclear state, a Draco foothold, and Labour will be remembered as the party that sold Britain to these powers. And that betrayal is profound. Okay, so there's some we do have to keep an eye on that, and this is why I'm saying the vision of the Iran gate getting shifted up to the UK. I mean, these are all I can just see like the Rothschilds and the Collins and, all of the Borgia lines and all of these like, banking, these Black Rock guys like all standing with like their map and they're like, how do we conquer and divide? And like, okay, if we take Europe, if we take the UK, we can creep in draconian law. We can creep in and erase, culturally erase the heritage. So, it's a lot of deceiving. It's a lot of master manipulation. It's unfortunate because I think the British thought that they could coexist with Dracos. I thought that it's so funny. It's so funny. Let's just put it this way. You cannot coexist with Dracos. Period. You can't. They're hungry. They worship death. They worship death more than you value your own life. You cannot help that. Like you just it's almost like yeah, two species are combating for space on this planet and it's just, people have got to have their own domains. They got to have their own space that they can be who they are. And unfortunately, the MO of the Draco reptilian invasion is to conquer and consume. And once they conquer and consume the entire planet, they're still not going to be happy. They'll just start eating themselves because they're cannibals. So you do have to draw the line. You do have to protect. You do have to um, say enough is enough. And Draco types don't respond to kindness. Draco types do not respond to the compassion that's in your heart. Let's just put it this way. They don't see compassion as a valuable quality. They don't see it as that they have something to learn from you. You are literally seen as a food source. And I think that's what people who are heart-based have to wake up to is they have to wake up to the unfortunate existence of brutality, the unfortunate existence of cruelty, the unfortunate existence of I'm trying to find the word because there's so many words. I guess it's a one world religion ideology that's definitely creeping up and through. Um, I would say like if whether we want to realize it or not or recognize it or not, the reptilian legions hold the majority on the planet, actually. I mean, if you look at the domination of it by country, if you look at it by the domination of nationality, that they've already like essentially done this through relentless force. Okay, kind of spreading draconian genetics like cancer. And so I mean, we just have to kind of, I think there has to be a shift. There has to be an awakening. There has to be another level of understanding that that's occurring. It's time to kind of pull your head out of the sand and like fall out of line of the sheep. Like you're no longer one of the sheep just going around baaing. Like, no, like you see the wolf over there and you see the whole, uh, crew of the wolves. Like the whole, so it's like you gotta understand that Israel right now is even though a lot of people are gonna say, Zionism and this, but there is a separation between Zionism and Judaism faith. There's a separation, right? And there's good and bad in these things as well, you know. But they're basically fighting the violent jihad. Europe is fighting a slow jihad. That's basically what's happening. Okay, so the even though the war might not be violent because UK is more docile, it would be violent if the UK became more protective and aggressive. That's the thing. Either way, if we slip into a Draco victory, if the world slipped into a Draco victory, we're going back to the Stone Age. We are going back to a time where women have no rights. We are going back to a time where women can't be seen. Women cannot speak. Women are punished violently and verbally. Child marriages and pedophilia is normal. 6 to 9 years old, like types of things. That's what we're going back to. We're going back to a Stone Age. So I think we have to take a deeper look at all of this. And I don't think that the United States is much safer from a lot of this as well. It's already happening in places like Josephine, Texas. It's already happening in New Jersey. It's already happening in Michigan. These are where most of the thriving draconian nests are in the United States, and they're growing. And it's because there's so much secularism, there's so much inability for humanity to recognize the string of consistency that's happening through timelines throughout history, that because they're not willing to look at the overall bigger picture of the growing encroachment of invasion, that they'll become victims to it and suicidal to it. So there's definitely a call to action. There's a call to consciousness. There's a call to a rise of the Christ consciousness. There's a call to understand this spiritual war, this holy war, this cultural war, this cosmic war. We have to understand it. We have to throw all of the fear out of the door, out of the window when it comes to speaking about these things as well. That's why I'm so open about it right now, you know, is because why not? Again, I feel like spiritually bypassing isn't an option. We have to raise our voice. We have to speak truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how persecuted you may feel. If right is right, if wrong is wrong, you know, this again, this is about knowing your predator. The prey predator codes are running. The antagonistic enemy patterning has been running for some time, all along that Archangel Michael ley line, all the way from Ireland down to the Temple Mount. We've been seeing the coming of this since 2020. 2020, the antagonistic patterning had been running. Okay, all the activations of the spike matrix, all of that. Knowing your predator, you have to understand they fight to the death harder than one values life. So that means that our our gives a fuck have to match the intensity to protect what is yours. And it's not a thing of, I know I feel so crazy saying this stuff too, because I feel like a little bit out of my box sometimes by saying this stuff, but it's like it's the truth. You have to match the intensity of that in terms of your own knowingness, of terms of your own values, in terms of your own backbone, in terms of your own wisdom to sustain and to keep what's yours. It's just It's protecting your own energy. It's grounding yourself. It's shielding yourself from danger. It's shielding yourself from chaos. That your shields have to become strong. Your inner resilience has to become strong. Your ability to battle on the 3D and the 4D earth realms, you have to become a warrior in this time. This is what this time is asking of us, is to become a warrior. And I'm not saying a warrior of violence in any way, but and a warrior of knowing how to say no, a warrior and knowing how to use your voice, a warrior and knowing how to bring forth action and care and concern and helping other people that need help right now. All of it. There's so many ways that we can hear that call to action, unite, find others who also see this truth. Okay? Um, you have to grow in your numbers of people who also see the truth, that are not spiritually bypassing the truth. And inspire change from those places, motivate others to act and stay vigilant, all those things. Stay together, hold the light together, and take time for, the grid work that we do. Be sure to join my Patreon, patreon.com/IndigoAngel. We do so much grid work monthly. We're doing 1 to 2 grid work missions a month to act accordingly to current events. What's going on in the world? How do we make a difference? How do we shift? I think the next mission we're going to be doing is Qatar. We have to focus on Qatar. Qatar is the central point for all of the corruption right now, and we didn't even know it. It's all up underneath our noses. Qatar, all of the leaders of Hamas, okay, every single leader of Hamas lives in Qatar. They're protected under the government of Qatar. And there's stargates that are open in Qatar. Qatar is like a very wealthy nation. And they pose this entire, like, peaceful, like, um, brotherhood Muslim, like, they're all in bed with the UK. They all own property in the UK. They all own the Ritz-Carlton hotels. They all own all of the real estate in Europe. This is why all of this could happen in the first place and don't even realize it. This is what I'm just like, mind blown, right? It's wild. It's wild. We have to focus on Qatar. They're wealthy in Qatar because of they're allowed to capitalize, monetize um, through corrupt corporation all through Europe. Basically the leaders of Hamas own the UK in a lot of ways, which is unfair and unfortunate and so hidden. And so yeah, we need to bring all of that to the light. So we'll be doing a Qatar gridwork mission soon. So if you want to join us, patreon.com/IndigoAngel. Be sure to sign up for my newsletters at IndigoAngel222.com as well, because I put writings out all the time, probably weekly, deep dives on everything that I'm finding and coming into. I'm just going to read some comments. Jennifer says, check out Katie Hopkins. She's from the UK. She's been shooting this from the rooftops for years. Oh, I bet she has. Shouting. Yeah, I'm sure she has. Okay, I scrolled back kind of far. Sorry, guys. Uh, I should be standing and protecting and honoring this land, but what do I do? Outnumbered. I think you need to join other people in your community that are also doing the same. There's a guy. I think it's the UKIP party, UKIP. There's a guy that I've been listening to. I can't remember his name, but look up UKIP, UKIP. He seems to be taking a much more powerful stance against these forces. That maybe you can team up with him in some way and help. I was attacked by draconian forces, don't know what to do and how to protect myself while I go out AI consciousness and behind it. Draconian Ahriman Baphomet. Ooh. Wow, that sounds like a djinn. As soon as you said Ahriman, I seen a djinn. Um, how do we combat it? Well, draconian clearings have to become a normal. Like things like draconian implant removal, which is something I do offer. And also I teach it. So whether you want to receive it or whether you want to learn it, I have both. I think things like that have to become a regular practice in terms of spiritual healing because what we're inundated with. I mean, be realistic about these forces. This isn't something that's just going to magically like up and disappear. As much as people are like, "Oh, the draconian forces have been removed from the planet and that they no longer exist." Like that's just an ego trip. Until we're in the golden age, until we're in the new earth, we're combating those forces. So we have to get real about what's actually happening, what's occurring, what spiritual forces are actually here. And we have to address them accordingly and stop acting like they're not here, you know? So I think, any sort, again, we're going to get into physical health. I think physical health is the base. You have to start with your physical health. Your physical health supports your spiritual immune system, and vice versa. If the physical health is weak, your shields are weak, and you can't protect yourself from Draco energy. So start looking at that first and foremost. Speaking of that, yeah, things that I think are contributing right now. So, right, we have to shield ourselves. Oregon Bubble says Oregon, Shungite, holy water. Yeah, all those things help. Our tools help. But really it's your energy. It's everything that you are in form is what you need to be able to move through it, to be able to conquer, to be able to not conquer, but like, you know what I mean? Shield, to have inner resilience, to be able to withstand, essentially. So I think there's a lot of things that are contributing. One is the micro radiation, specifically in the south, SS2 corridor. There is all these cell towers. We need to do something because I think they are masked. I think that they're not entirely like just 5G cell towers. I think that there's other ones that like they are doing other things. And we need to research this. We need to figure out, what they got going because some of them are emitting constant radiation, especially along the southern corridor. I don't know if you've seen some of these Doppler images, but it's just 15 hours straight a night, right? So I was just, talking about this earlier. Restless sleep, broken sleep, dehydration. A lot of people are super dehydrated right now. Um, this has been a common complaint. Dehydration, people saying, I'm so dehydrated. My light body feels fragmented. My immune system feels fatigued. Chronic exhaustion. If you have any of these things, period, you have no shields or forces to protect yourself against draconians. Period. What you have to do is just get yourself out of the pathway of interaction until you can get those things up. Because if those things are down, you don't have the power, you don't have the energy. You're not resting well, you're not sleeping well, you're not catching up, your body's not restoring itself well. So you have to find a way to make sure that first and foremost, those things are able to be sustained um, and repaired as much as possible. Another thing that's affecting us is solar flares. Solar flares right now are intense. Okay, it's a major factor. I feel like we just talk about solar flares in this consciousness community like it's just like candy weather or something. Like, oh, like, oh, the solar flares, it's like it's some sort of activation, it's some sort of like constant conversation. I feel like it's cliche, it's overworked, it's too much. It's too much. We just have to realize that like this is always happening. We are always under a constant solar flare bombardment. It's always causing right now and has been for some time an extreme internal heating and cooling. Every time we have the solar flares, we're getting extreme heating, extreme cooling of the body. And that what that does every single time, it forces your body into rapid DNA repair. This is normal. This isn't like, oh, the next wave and oh, no, it's going to come. It's always going to come. So you have to catch up with your body versus catch up with the solar flare. Okay? Be over prepared in the body and for it to actually happen and occur. Otherwise, you're going to always be dragging your feet in emotional whiplash because that's what it happens. That's what happens when you get a solar flare is you have emotional whiplash, you have bipolar like mood swings, you have suicidal ideation, you have severe drops in your vibration and frequency because your body just got blasted so hard that all the DNA has to all of a sudden rapidly start repairing and cleansing itself. And this can take weeks of recovery. Weeks. So we have to get ahead of the solar flares. Okay, I think we have to stop looking at it like, oh, the news, the new Richter scale, and more so like, no, we're like preppers. We're body preppers. Okay, like you would like people prepare for the next war. Like we got to be prepping on the body for those flares and flashes and quantum DNA repair. We got to be ahead of the game. Another thing that's happening is the Earth right now is going through massive planetary grief and emotional harvesting. Like I said, we're massively harvesting on the Red Sea right now. But what's happening is the Earth is responding to mass death frequencies, war, division, hatred, global despair. All of these things are surging. Okay, they're surging in places like Ukraine, open death portals, places like Gaza, open death portals, places like the Red Sea in Yemen and Iran, death portals, everything wide open, sucking life force energy into it. These are destructive regions. So, what's happening is everywhere else in the world where you're not in those destructive regions, your energy is being harvested because the planetary grid, the organic grid, is universal, right? It has reverence for all life. And so what happens is it actually pulls from the areas that have living life energy to sustain the death portals, to sustain the wounded parts of the earth. And so we're dealing with this, and we have to understand that the balancing systems are all out of place because of this. And this is also contributing to the suicidal ideations, to the massive quantum DNA repair, to the just uh, bipolar emotions and the needing to work on the body and to people dealing with these health issues. And I'm going to add another thing to this. On top of that, we're also dealing with natural disasters and grid destruction, earthquakes, fires, volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes. Okay, we just had massive hurricanes that ripped through, or not hurricanes, I'm sorry. No, it was, no, earthquakes. Earthquakes that ripped through, was it Taiwan? There was all kinds of videos of like these big buildings and like the pools were like emptying out the waters off the buildings. I think it was Taiwan is over there, but the earthquakes, there's been massive earthquakes in Italy. There's been massive earthquakes in Greece. So these things take a toll on us as well. I mean, this damages the elements, this damages the Earth's life force energy, this damages the grids, this damages the flora, this damages the fauna, and human beings and the web of life. So we also take an impact on our spiritual immune system and our physical bodies because of this. The mental and spiritual toll, suicidal ideation, anxiety, and panic. If your anxiety levels are up, okay, all of these things are contributing. Depression, entity attachments, and spiritual interference. You guys know I just did a show with Rob. He's dealing with a massive entity issue. And this is pretty common right now. This is pretty normal. A lot of people. Okay. Sam McIntyre says earthquakes in Thailand. Yeah, it was Thailand. That's right. Thank you. They were like at a 7 or an 8 point earthquake. So it's that's and I mean the fires again, we know have been wreaking havoc over here in the US. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And this is why we have to stay strong. I mean, this is what Anna's saying, lots of death. So we have to recognize that this is happening. We have to um understand that because of this, even the strongest amongst us are struggling right now. This is what I'm seeing. Those who are really strong, they too are struggling. And so with love, care, and concern, we do have to slow down right now. We have to slow down. We have to prioritize what our body is telling us right now. And it's really time to get serious about our health. Because if we don't slow down, if we don't get serious about our health, if we don't, you know, give some respect and appreciation for what's happening in the world, some honoring, I think we have to honor what's happening. We have to, in terms of our prayers, in terms of our meditation, in terms of, our connection with God, Source, the Creator, the earth, we have to kind of honor this cycle, okay? Because a lot of all of this is out of our hands in a lot of ways. We are having to surrender because we can do so much with our activism, with our concern, with our participation, with our thoughts, with our mind, with our collaboration, and we're doing every effort that we possibly can, but everything that's out of our hands, we also have to surrender in love and compassion and allow the divine to do its work. But in the same time, we have to prioritize what our bodies are telling us because they are telling us to slow down. They are telling us to get serious about our health. It means we have to cut our addictions right now. If you have addictions on any level, smoking, drinking, whatever it is, chemicals, uh, addiction to certain activities, um, anything that weakens you, anything that weakens your organs, anything that weakens your body, it has to go. You just have to stop. You have to start caring so much more about the value of your life over the addictions. Like you just have to get really uh I guess back into the fighter energy of your inner child because your inner child wouldn't be doing all of that stuff in the first place, right? If you think back to when you were a kid, your kid is like, heck no, I'm not doing none of those things. You got to get back into that energy that just doesn't make any more excuses and doesn't want it and values your life more than anything. So all addictions have to go. You have to audit your diet. You have to audit your diet. You have to increase your hydration. You have to eat clean. You have to not skip supplements. This is huge right now. When we have grid deterioration, we have massive things going on, hurricanes, earthquakes. We have microwave radiation for 15 hours a night. You have to supplement minerals. Your body is being so depleted. You have to get calcium, you have to get magnesium, you have to get potassium, you have to get D2, K, A, AB complex, C's. You have to get all of it. You have to every day. You can't skimp on those things because there's such a toll on your body that your body needs the assistance. It needs the supplementation for your bones, for your circulatory system, for your muscular system, all of it. It needs extra help. Also, women right now, you have to support your hormones because everything that's happening on the earth, mass destruction, death portals, it runs through our womb, it runs through the reproductive cycle. You'll notice right now during these times and have been since 2020 and even before, I would say 2018, all of the women that I know, their cycles have gotten increasingly worse, increasingly more difficult, increasingly more painful, increasingly more strenuous on their body to the point that it depletes your minerals. It depletes your ability to sustain yourself through it, right? There's often a lot of fatigue crashes and you have weeks at a time to recover and repair. So you have to support your hormones right now. Ashwagandha, yamroot, black cohosh, primrose oil, all of those things. Just reading some comments. Eleanor says that will continue. It was Myanmar. They are also blowing up the dumbs. Transmute and take care of yourself. We can mitigate so it calms as much as needed. Yes. Yeah, we have to take care of ourselves. That's why I'm saying all this stuff right now with the health stuff, because it's like just a reminder to you guys, if you're not taking your, supplements, your vitamins, like get on your regimen right now. The time is now. Joe says, thank you, Joe. It's very extremely difficult to do it, much easier to do it in the groups, preferably face to face. Addiction is so high in people, and it's because they cannot stand the level of pain that's surging through the planet. They can't stand the level of pain. I mean, it's overwhelming. So that's why I'm saying, like, focus on these things. Focus on cutting the addictions. Focus on your diet. Um, Women, hormone focus. You have to get your hormones under regulation, and then also anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. Anti-inflammatory focus is the most number one thing you can do right now because it's how you can um, combat free radicals, which radicals are harmful. And that's basically what's happening. Everything in terms of the radiation overexposure, it's a free radical. The death portals that are opened in war portals, they're emitting radicals. Um, the weather stuff that's occurring, it's radicals. Everything that's basically triggering autoimmune responses in the body, fight or flight responses in the body, trauma in the body, triggers in the body, flares. It flares your body. That's what's happening. And solar flares. What do solar flares do? They flare your system. And all disease, everything that basically breaks someone's immune system down, is accompanied with flare-ups. It's accompanied with inflammation. So the number one thing you can honestly do consciously is to work on anti-inflammatory power. Okay, so how you can do that is eating the rainbow. You have to eat the rainbow. Color vibrant foods, purples and reds. Purple cabbage, eggplant, beets, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, anything with vibrant colors. Oranges and yellows, sweet potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, squash, greens, kale, spinach, broccoli, bell peppers, artichokes, um, dark chocolate in moderation, cacao, and then seeds. You have to get seeds. And I'm talking seeds every day. You need a lot of seeds. You need almonds, you need walnuts, you need cashews, you need pecans, you need sunflower seeds. Um, Grape seeds. If you can get grape seed extract, this I have found to be extremely helpful. It's the highest antioxidant source available on the planet. Grape seeds. You can actually get supplements of grape seeds. All of this will help neutralize radical radiation in the body, chemicals in the body, poisons in the body, toxins in the body. You need to get antioxidants up. So, yes, that's kind of my whole thing with all of this. That's what I've been doing personally to regenerate. And then you have to focus consistently on regulating your nervous system because the solar flares dysregulate the nervous system like crazy. Everything else does. So consider, are you around toxic people? Do you need to step back from toxic people? Being alone is safer than being around somebody who causes you energetic harm. Mushy Wishy says raw pumpkin seeds. Yes, absolutely. Eleanor says do a parasite cleanse and it will help with the addiction. Yes, all great suggestions. I've been wondering about legalization of marijuana and collective effects. I know it has benefits. I personally use it sparingly. I do think it does have healing properties. Cannabinoid receptors in the brain also help with pain and reversal of illness, sickness, and disease in the body. This is why they give it to cancer patients. That's why they give it to people who have HIV and AIDS. Um, so yeah, it actually has been proven to help people. But I would say right? Because it's like addiction. I think you just have to use in moderation and you don't use it daily all day long. You don't use it like, oh, I have to have this to help me with my emotions and just to stabilize myself and be okay. It has to be used like sparingly. It has to be used methodically. It has to be used ritualistically with your healing efforts. And remove the guilt. Quit feeling guilty about it. Quit second guessing yourself. Quit questioning yourself. If you're being guided to use it for something that's going to help you heal, stop giving it F what anyone else thinks and do what you need to do to help your nervous system. Okay? Because, yeah, it's a healing tool. And we got to do what we got to do. Uh, this is a lot of that comes from the religious guilt and the harmful negative religious ideologies that impose those things that we can't use these um like natural organic substances that come from the earth to help and aid us and guide us, right? Like it's a natural element of the earth. 3 cloves per day, raw jalapeno seeds. Wow. Ooh, yeah, I bet that probably is good. Jalapeno seeds. I wouldn't doubt that. Those are probably spicy. Be careful. Apple cider vinegar. Yes. Yes, that's a good one. But you got to dilute it with a little bit of water for sure. Don't take it head on, especially if you have stomach issues. For me personally, I got to dilute that a little bit. Sea salt and lemon water, absolutely. All these things in the morning before you wake up. Flushing the body. Apple cider vinegar is great. The sea salt and lemon water is great. Also, baking soda. Teaspoon of baking soda in the morning as well will reduce inflammation in the body. And you can do this every single day. And not only are you reducing inflammation, you're clearing fatty liver and you're clearing kidney stones. You're helping your organs. Yeah, and the thing about all of this is it's all very subtle. Everything natural that you do and use is subtle on the body, and it's about consistency. It's about dedication. It's about waking up and doing it every single day. And then once you do that for a week, a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then you see results. You start to subtly and slowly start to feel better. So, yeah. Also do things that do activities that regulate your central nervous system, like meditation, reading, napping. Napping's good. It's good to nap. You need to nap, especially if you're not getting good sleep at night. If you're not sleeping at night because you're getting baked with this radiation, you need to take some naps during the day because napping will help you regenerate and cell repair when you're not able to get it at night. So give yourself a little bit of a nap. Doing art, journaling, singing and dancing, yoga, stretching, watching movies even. I mean, things that are peaceful. You got to fall in love with peace. You got to find a way to like peace. That's going to help you feel safe and regulate that central nervous system and enjoy your own company. You got to learn to enjoy your own company because, again, as we get older, you're alone more, right? Your kids move out, your family doesn't call as much. Some of your family's probably, you know, departing, okay, as we get older. Relationships and intimate relationships and companionship are harder to come by. So you have to fall in love with your own company. You have to learn that. You have to get comfortable with more alone time. Also, with the rise of AI and the technocratic systems that are rising right now, human connection is harder because AI systems are replacing that. Okay, and whether we like it or not, we have to say that. And we have to recognize it. And we have to learn how to build inner strength, um, and enjoy your mind, enjoy your life, enjoy your solitude, enjoy the things that you have. I think it's very important to practice gratitude every single day. You know, are you grateful for the roof over your head? Are you grateful for your bed? Are you grateful for water? Are you grateful for food? For me, I'm so grateful for my bed. I'll tell you what, every time I lay down at night and put my head on my pillow, I'm just like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for always having my bed. Like, it's just, you always have that sweet, comforting place to come back to just like rest peacefully. And it's so important that you know that you're worthy of your basic needs. You are worthy of that. You are worthy of this comfort that you have. So, yeah, really focus on giving yourself all the comfort things that you need, making that tea that makes you feel good, cooking that healthy dinner for yourself that like might feel like such a huge task, but get to the grocery store. You know what? You want some salmon tonight? You want some good veggies? Well, go to the grocery store and give yourself what you like to eat. You know what I mean? Because you deserve it. And that sounds good to me. I think I'm gonna do some salmon tonight, actually. I'll do salmon and we have a lovely grocery store here in Pensacola. We have amazing seafood department. I mean, we're down in the Gulf of America. We got the best seafood. They got all kinds of different crab cakes, um, made with different types of crab. We got salmon cakes, we got fish cakes, we got tempura shrimps. We have five different types of already pre like uh um marinated salmons, like bourbon salmons, sesame seed salmons, like garlic salmons, all kinds. So yeah, I will get down on some fish. I do love that. I think it's good for your omegas and all of your like oils that the body needs. Eleanor says cayenne is my fave. Yes, cayenne is so amazing. I agree. It can literally take a migraine away. If you're somebody who's a migraine sufferer, just put a little bit of cayenne pepper underneath your tongue. It'll be gone in like 2 seconds because that cayenne pepper travels through the bloodstream and it clears any restrictions on your circulatory system. Any swelling that it has immediately goes away. It's amazing, natural, pure cure. Love it. Joe says tuna steaks, mahi, swordfish, all taste like pork steaks. Wow. Interesting. I do love tuna. I will do tuna. I will do a little mahi. Swordfish, I don't know. I think that's a little rougher. It's a little tougher. But I will eat the fish. I will do a little fish. Yes. I think it's like it's healthy fats. I think it's also why people like in Japan and all of like the Eastern countries health-wise do so well is because they're eating a lot out of the sea. So yeah, guys, just know that I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this update today. It's really good connecting with you one-on-one than normal. I've been doing so many roundtables recently. But just know that you guys are beautiful, that you are worthy, that if you're struggling with health issues right now, just know that you're not going to die. I'm going to say that because, I mean, really, a lot of people that have been coming forward, their health issues have been like really bad. So it's like, no, you're not going to die. You're not. You just have to focus, realign yourself with slowing down and caring about your health. And I know that can feel like such a sobering, sometimes defeating feeling. It can feel like a defeating thing, right? Like it's like, I have to slow down. I have to just like, I can't go as fast as I was going. I have to really just change things up. I obviously can't eat or drink what I was doing before. Like you just have, it's like you have to accept it. Okay. But also accept that if you do these things that your body's asking, you're going to live, you're going to heal, you're going to get through it, you're going to come out stronger. You're just having to make those efforts. And things often get harder before they get better, but it's a part of your growth. It's a part of your pain. Your pain is a part of your growth and it's a part of your path. And you just have to go slow. And um, I think everyone's doing amazing. I love you all so much. You're all doing great. Yeah, we gotta support each other. We do. And also remember too that we can't find truth until we're ready for it. So if you feel like you need more truth, then it's time to ask for it. Because the awakening just continues to go deeper. It really truly does. It always does. And we never know where we're at until we actually have to go deeper, into truth. So, and that's why we can't judge anybody else where they're at in their path as well, too, because they're just like us, like peeling the layers of the onion of truth one by one, revealing more, getting back to the deeper levels of self-singularity and also the collective. And Jim's gonna listen to some reggae music. It lifts the spirit. Walk in the grass barefoot. Yeah, absolutely. Gotta get out there. Love on your animals. Yeah, all those things. Lay belly to belly with the earth if you can. Like, I'll do that sometimes. Just lay a towel down in the yard and just lay belly to belly because that really helps. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed these messages today. I'm gonna check in with you tomorrow. Be sure to come in 7 p.m. We're gonna be diving into the pyramids and getting in all into the nitty-gritty of what's happening over there at the fourth planetary Stargate. So I hope you all have a beautiful everything, and I will see you soon. Take care. Namaste.